Hi, this is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Thursday. This is Game Day Live. Coming to you live from the Primetime Radio studios here in New Jersey and Chicago, Illinois. I'm your host, Sam Wu, here with Pucks and Pitchforks contributor extraordinaire, Vinnie Parise, as we're streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live, and Twitch on the Let's Go Devils Network. Devils Rangers tonight at Madison Square Garden for some preseason action. Vinnie, hello. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are.
Hello, Sam. We are on screen together doing a Game Day Live for the first time since April. We've each done one individually. Both turned out to be wins. Let's hope the magic could come together and have a great season. Happy preseason to you.
I liked, to you too. I like your reference last game that it was a split squad type preseason Game Day Live where, the Sam Wu squad went game one, game two, the Vinnie Parise squad took over, and now we meshed the two together. And that's what seems like what the Devils are going to be doing tonight. A couple things, maybe I should get it right off the bat. We talk about beefalytics. For all you vegans out there, it's beanalytics. I made that up today in my head because we want to be inclusive. But then somebody on the YouTube Live commented fragility-lytics because a couple players are down tonight. Why don't you go over that, Vinnie?
Yeah, so the Devils, they're going to be missing Nico Hischier. Of course, Nico Hischier, it's probably the first time we're talking about it on the network. He is out with a hamstring strain, and for a couple days there, the Devils straight up lied to us. They were like, yeah, it's just some cramps. He's got cramps. Like, cramps? Like, what? What are you saying?
I knew something was up when they said cramps. They could at least, normally you would say maybe Charlie horse or something like that. And then the dehydration came out. It was like a total cover-up. Whether it was intentional or not, it was a total cover-up. So I want to tell the people at the Devils, whether in the marketing department, the content department, which, by the way, I hate that word right now, content. I hate those buzzwords that everybody uses, and activation or whatever. Anyway, that's a side note. But everybody at the Devils, don't blame Devils fans when we claim any kind of conspiracy theory, because that trust has been broken.
Yeah, and there's no doubt about it.
Tell us the truth.
Yeah, exactly. You tell us it's cramps. At least give me lower body, upper body. The NHL's been doing that for 50 years. That you're being as vague as you can by saying upper body or lower body. The Devils easily could have said after the first period of the first preseason game, Nico Hischier's out with a lower body injury, and everyone would have shut up. They would have been, okay, what do we got to do to get Nico back healthy again? Okay, well, the plan is he'll be ready for either the first or second game of the season. Boom. No trust lost. The truth is told, and you get the same result.
But I'm going to even further this. After this dehydration or what's the other word? What was the word that
Cramping?
they used? Cramping, dehydration. The words used not by us, not by anybody else in the media, but by the New Jersey Devils themselves. I watched that Devils app. I heard what Chris Westcott said. I'm not blaming Chris Westcott because they could be in his ear saying something, whatever, or he got some bad information. It's not criticize Chris Westcott at all, actually. But take it even further. Then the next day, precautionary measures. We're going to get him checked out. Precautionary, just like, okay, this thing happened, in Montreal. What? And then suddenly it's a hamstring today. So you went from like something very little to something that's like, okay, it's preseason, it's a hammy, but they're two different things. And that's what's pissing me off. I'm sure Devils fans are pissed off. I'd like to hear what you think on the YouTube Live and Facebook Live and Twitter Live. We were bamboozled, and it's only preseason.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived on what is going on with Nico Hischier. I am not too surprised, though. The Devils have kind of been shady with injuries over the last year or so.
Absolutely.
This team, they're not very honest with their fans, and now I'm like, okay, well, do I trust that the 10 days is a legitimate thing? In 10 days, are you going to tell me that he's got a broken ankle and he's out for 3 months? Like, the way Nico was playing it, certainly that's probably not the case. But, is this going to linger? Is this something, are they going to be truthful going forward? Because they clearly got caught in a lie.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll even further that. Now I'm going to start speculating. This is pure speculation, folks. MacKenzie Blackwood. Let's make up some conspiracy theories. Not feeling well today, cannot play. But Vanacek is in. Is MacKenzie Blackwood faking it and he just wants to be the only goalie and no one else? Or is it more than that he's just sick? Does he have COVID and he's on the protocol? Or is he has the flu? Did he pass it on to Jack Hughes? I don't know. Because they didn't tell us the truth the first time around. Now it's going to have me guessing all the time. Because the Devils have proven one thing. This is, and by the way, this is the truth here. Vinnie and I didn't even discuss this, and we didn't even have any pre-show meeting. We just went hard, because it got late to the game, and then suddenly we're talking about this. But let me tell you something. The trust, all that kind of stuff is out the window, and I don't know, Vinnie. I don't know. It's like you're going to make up stuff, all that. I'm just going to be like this the entire time. Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. This morning, Blackwood was the starter. Schmid was going to back him up. All of a sudden, he leaves. AM skate early, and now Vitek Vanacek is going to start for the Devils tonight. Schmid is backing up as planned. I'm sure both will play. If Blackwood comes out and plays tomorrow against the New York Rangers at home, then I guess I won't be at all suspicious about what happened today. Maybe he just simply was not feeling well. We all know what it's like to have a 24-hour bug. In today's world, when you have a 24-hour bug, they take it a lot more seriously than even 3 years ago. But the whole Nico Hischier thing makes you wonder, where's Blackwood? He was missing for half the season last year. Wasn't very good when he came back. I don't know what to say, but, hopefully all is well that ends well, and by opening night, the Devils have a mostly not perfectly constructed, but constructed lineup with the players that they have available to them.
Yeah, and by the way, some people are commenting probably monkeypox, all these other scenarios that could be happening and all that. We're poking fun at it, and all the other scenarios that we just said, we're in full disclosure, we just made it up just to prove a point, and
yeah.
There's no reason to hide anything. There's none. And it's not like the fans are going to panic and be like, oh, no, the season's over. Our captain has a hamstring injury. He's not going to be available at opening night. Big whoop. You're still going to sell tickets. We still want to see the rest of the team. Alexander Holtz, John Marino, Palat, Holla. They're looking good. And the Devils are looking just fine even without their captain right now. So I'm not even worried about it. I'm not even worried about it one bit. So moving forward, because the Devils have to play the Rangers tonight, and just that situation kind of left a bad taste in our mouths, and I don't think this is the last time we're going to be criticizing this team for what they did. I mean, if you don't know, you don't know. Just say Nico Hischier has a lower body injury. We're still reevaluating, and then keep silent. I mean, they kept silent about the Mikey McLeod situation. You can't even do this?
Yeah, for real. I mean, Sam, in your opinion, what team in the NHL has been the most successful since, let's say, the salary cap era, 2005?
Tampa Bay Lightning is one.
Tampa Bay Lightning are up there. There's one particular team that comes to mind, though, when I think of the most productive team in the salary cap era.
Pittsburgh Penguins or
It's the Pittsburgh Penguins is who I'm thinking of. They've won the Cup 3 times. They have the longest active playoff streak in the National Hockey League. In my opinion, Coach Sullivan is number one best coach in the league. If I could bring anybody to the Devils right now, it would be him. And they, unlike any team in the NHL, are the most honest with their injuries. They will tell you what their guys are dealing with to the biggest detail possible. And I just think that creates a good rapport. And then they go out and have good years on the ice. They're going to make the playoffs again. Every year people predict Pittsburgh's downfall. If they have 87, 71, and 58 on squad, they're making the playoffs as long as they produce 80% of what we're used to them doing. I don't get why the Devils can't be like that. You're not going to be as good on the ice because you don't have those players developed the way that they do, but you can be honest with your fans. There's just and media and everybody else.
Maybe we're being too honest because on this podcast platform, we're brutally honest. We love our team. We love the people that cover the team, but sometimes, we tell how it is, and maybe we're not used to that. But I can tell you right now, I don't know if you watched the Devils on the app, that game 1. Did you?
Uh-huh.
This is a constructive criticism. I like the people that were doing the intermission. I like a lot of the things. They have a lot of great ideas. Don't get me wrong. But it almost seemed like they were always making excuses for this team. Excuses like, just like the dehydration issue, or, all things in considering the fact that Jack Hughes isn't playing in this game, the Devils are blah, blah, blah. Like, there was always an excuse trying to cover up a bad team or there were bad plays, and this has been going on for a while now. And it's kind of an insult because I've said this many times, and it's not to their fault on the Devils. But you got to hire people from Jersey to be reporting this, and I'll tell you the reason why. You have to be from Jersey to understand Jersey. No offense, Vinnie. But I think you can understand, and you don't have to agree with me, but there's a certain thing about Jersey, being from Jersey, that only Jersey people understand. And the one thing is, don't be a phony and don't cover things up. We are strong people. Tell it how it is and tell it to my face. I will respect you for that. Versus, it's just dehydration. Oh, it's just precautionary. You know what I mean? That's how I don't know how you guys think, but that's how I think. And don't BS us. I wish I could say it in a vulgar way, but don't BS us. We're not stupid.
Yeah, I agree with you. There is a little bit of like Canadian, even Midwestern, like where I'm from, vibes with the way they do that. Because I think if you like tune into a Chicago Blackhawks game or a Minnesota Wild game, everything is peaches and cream all the time. Where like you get to the East Coast, you talk about Philly, New York, Boston, New Jersey. Everyone's like, this team effing this and this team effing that. Like, not to get vulgar, but you get what I'm saying. They tell it like it is way more. Like, I remember one year I'm watching a a Blackhawks game, and they're comparing Panarin to McDavid, and every trait they put in favor of Panarin. Never in the history of either of their two lives has Panarin been as good as Connor McDavid. Panarin's great, especially on the Rangers now, but never, ever would he be as good as Connor McDavid, even 5 years ago. So, it just when it comes to the Devils, like you said, you just got to be honest with the people. It's unlike any fan base in the league, in my opinion.
It's a unique fan base, and the Rutgers head coach even said it. There's something about Jersey where only Jersey people understand how Jersey's ways. It's like Taylor ham and pork roll. All right, okay, we have fun with it, but you know what? Only Jersey people know what that is. You know what I mean? It's simple as that. And you know what? I just don't want to be BS'd anymore. And this is all coming out because it's like, we've been through this before. Just be honest with us. When Tom Fitzgerald, some of the things he said in the past, he did a lot of good things and say, we're not very good. Thank you, Captain Obvious. But hey, you were honest with me, and we give the benefit of the doubt. That's how we roll in Jersey. And, again, I'll even reiterate how out of touch it is. That Jersey, okay? If you really want to be Jersey tough, you would not have that font in cursive slapped in the middle of the jersey. You would have it like pretty much in New Courier font and just straight across and just say Jersey. That looks better than what that's just my opinion, of course. I'm still mad about that. Don't know why. I kind of find the hat to be funny, but I don't know. I'm
going to buy one and wear it on the show.
What, a hat?
The hat I would like too, but the jersey.
Oh, what, just to piss me off when we see each other in December?
Yeah, a little bit that too. I probably would wear it, and I have my Hischier jersey that I bought before he ever played a single game. Kind of a risky $300 that I spent. If he would have turned out like Nolan Patrick or something, that would have been a waste of $300. But I don't know. I think it would get compliments here, but yeah, I get what you're saying with the jersey. It doesn't fit what a lot of people were looking for in the jersey. But it's interesting though, because this whole Hischier thing made us mad enough to spend 20 minutes of our show talking about it already.
We have been so unproductive. 20 minutes of something so stupid that they could have just honestly, this could have been a blurb of 2 minutes of Nico Hischier out 10 days with a hamstring injury, injured 2 days ago. He's rehabbing right now. He is listed as day-to-day, something like that. And it would have been just a little blurb. It's just preseason. But you lied to us.
They lied to us, and they also they made it seem worse than it is too. Because now these 10 days, you go from thinking that it's a cramp and he'll be back by the weekend to it being 10 days, when in reality, 10 days is catching a break for a hamstring injury. We see baseball players sit out for 6 weeks due to hamstring issues. And I know 2 different sports, and hockey players are generally tougher, but you dodge a bullet when you're out for only 10 days with a hamstring injury, usually. And they could have made it seem that way because it is that way. But no, they make 10 days seem like a lifetime.
It's
because
one thing if you got it wrong on the first while it's happening live, okay, that's forgivable. But it was the next day they said he's just going to get checked out, a precautionary, just to make sure, run a test. When you say run a test, I'm thinking something like, okay, let's not make sure it's Hodgkin's or make sure something like, because this was a little unusual. Just rule something out. We'll take a normal blood work, whatever. That was actually thinking in my head. I was like, they're just, this is, I probably even said it on the Woo Report or even stated the fan address. I said, it's procedural. But not anymore. And that's why we have the Let's Go Devils podcast, because we tell it to you straight. Whether we're right or wrong, we tell you how we think. And that I can guarantee. Yeah, we're not going to cover up anything. Trust me. You know how many times we criticized this team last season? There was a
Oh, we
heck
were
of a lot to
mean.
criticize.
Yeah. We were borderline mean by the time March rolled around, and
Yeah, but that's
now,
Jersey.
yeah,
Not in cursive. That's Jersey in New Courier font.
yeah,
Times New
100%.
Roman.
And now they have to play their biggest rival in a preseason game twice in a row, and you hope that they beat them both times because exhibition, regular season, Stanley Cup playoffs, a summer round of golf, you want the Devils to beat the Rangers.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even, you know what they could have done? They could have said, Hischier became lame during the game. He's out for the entire preseason. We want to make sure he's ready opening night. And just don't even disclose what it is. I would have been cool with it. As long as he's back by opening night. You didn't have to give us the details.
If he's not back by opening night, though, which 10 days kind of puts that in jeopardy, doesn't it?
Yeah. And then what's going to happen opening night when he comes back? Is there going to be a big surprise? You know, like when Jack Hughes was injured, comes back and he signs an $8 million a year deal. Was that staged? Was that staged?
Yeah.
That shoulder injury?
You might remember when Nico became the captain. It was the day that he returned from like a 6-week injury.
Yeah. Yeah. Is Nico getting his name in the Ring of Honor when he comes back?
I'm trying to think. There's not much else to do for number 13. He's already the captain. He's signed long term. It's time to start winning. I mean, that's basically what it comes down to for these guys.
I know. Oh my goodness. So
and you look at the lineup tonight.
Go ahead.
The Devils, it's half and half, like you said. Tatar, Hala, Zetterlund, those guys have a chance to make the team. Wood, Mercer, Foote, McLeod, Bastian is the third line. Thompson centering the fourth line with Gearson and Hallinan. Siegenthaler, Hamilton, Smith, Marino, Witherspoon, Ball, and then Blackwood. No, not Blackwood. Vanacek and Schmid as the goalies. And the Rangers, no Panarin, but they are using Kreider, Zibanejad, Sammy Blais, Lafreniere, Hedel, Kakko. And then on defense, we'll see Lindgren with Fox, Hayjack with Barkowski. And then Igor Shesterkin is starting in net, so he's one of the best goalies in the world. I would rank him number 2 probably. And boom, the Rangers probably have an advantage in the lineup. So if the Devils go out there and play well, that would be a good sign.
Very good sign. Very good sign. And you know what? I look, it's just preseason, folks. Every team is working on different things, trying to scout some of the players that are on the bubble, if they can really make this team, okay? Some players are playing for contracts. 2 of them are going to be in the lineup with Tatar and Hala and Johnson. So I like to see some pizzazz tonight, especially in Madison Square Garden. Which, by the way, has been in the news about moving Madison Square Garden. They may take a wrecking ball to that building, apparently. And that just tells you that the city of New York, how they value Madison Square Garden and the New York Rangers and the New York Knicks. It's kind of a sad state of affair. Because I'm not going to lie to you, because of 94, I just can't. I will be there front row seat when they take that wrecking ball and destroy that building. Forever.
Yeah, that'll be nice. And they'll probably build them a 6th stadium. Every team that builds a new stadium gets a cool one. The Prudential Center, by all accounts, is very pretty, very modern. You think of where the Kraken play, Vegas, the Minnesota Wild have a beautiful stadium. The Madison Square Garden kind of reminds me of like the United Center. On the inside, there's so much history and you could see so much cool stuff. But on the outside, it's so clearly an older stadium that could definitely use an upgrade. So we'll see.
You know what it reminds me of? I don't know. Asbestos. I don't know. When they were doing construction there. I don't know why that makes me feel that way. But there's something about Madison Square Garden that is their ceiling, their roof is so low, and the acoustics, it's probably like one of the best in the world. Acoustic wise, the sound. I don't know. You've never been to Madison Square Garden, have you? Vinny?
I have not. My only appreciation for Madison Square Garden is I'm a Bulls fan, and Michael Jordan was obsessed with Madison Square Garden. He
Yeah.
loved going there and smoking the Knicks. So, as a Bulls fan, that means a lot to me. But outside of that, I've never been there, and I really don't like the Rangers all that much. So,
Yeah, the building itself, it's actually the reason why it's pretty electric. They say it's New Yorkers. That's kind of part of the deal, but that ceiling is so low that the sound just pops when there's a goal or a 3-point play or something like that. It's something else. Whereas most arenas, that's where they cheap out of. There's nothing, so the sound goes into empty space. Whereas Madison Square Garden, it's a little bit lower, but it's not on the ground level, believe it or not. That's why their ice surface is really bad. It's actually on the 4th story. It's actually not on ground level. So, I think they should take a wrecking ball to that building. Maybe they can play in Woolman Rink, which the Devils own right now, in Central Park, and skate there for a couple of years till they figure out their housing situation. Would they move back to the Meadowlands, Barclays Center? I don't know. That would be something. What they would do in the
Barclays Center is brutal for hockey. You could tell what you're talking about with the roof when you're watching the game on TV, though, for Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
The road announcers are like right below, like they could touch the ceiling just by going like this. And I always thought that was kind of cool, but hopefully they.
And the catwalk, and when they did the renovation, they put the catwalk in. Phenomenal fan experience from the catwalk. Montreal Canadiens, Bell Center in the press box, you literally look down. It's a catwalk. The press box is like really not like in the corner somewhere. It's above the ice. It's really cool. It's really awesome how they do that in Montreal. And they serve the best hot dog, by the way, at the Bell Center.
I believe that. The Bell Center's top 5 on my bucket list for hockey rinks, and I like how every seat in the Bell Center, I've never been there, I just know from studying and researching, every seat is like the 300 level at a typical hockey rink. Like the fans are on top of the players, like they're stacked on each other rather than moving out like most lower bowls. Most 100 levels in hockey go like this. Montreal's like a 300 level. It goes like this.
Yeah. I just want to answer a couple questions. Mark 536 says, I don't have NHL Network. Is on the radio somewhere. Devils Hockey Network. Download the app. Download the NHL app and go to the game, and you should get Matt and Chico if they're doing the game. But the Devils feed, you can listen to that there. That's what we do all the time when we can't watch on TV and we're working on the show at an event. James says, we going to see H2O line again tonight? That's answer is no, right, Vinny? They're not.
No H2O line. Not a single one of the players.
Yeah, so they're probably going to play tomorrow against the Rangers at Prudential Center. Hey, we're coming up to near the top of the hour, Vinny. We're going to go over predictions right now. For those that don't know, BetStamp is sponsoring this podcast, Game Day Live, and Devils After Dark, starting on opening night, October 15th. We're going to start placing bets with our predictions. So you ever hear that term, Vinny, put your money where your mouth is?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to go on the BetStamp app and literally make bets. And you guys can bet against us if you want. If you download the app, betstamp.app, go there and download it for your Android and iOS device. But we just want to get the word out there that something like this is happening. And you know what? If you want to bet against Vinnie Parise, go right ahead. Want to bet against the Woo? Go right ahead. Put your money where your mouth is. You can talk, chirp all you want online, but if I see you put $250 down and goes opposite of my prediction, I like to see you lose.
Yeah, me and you take a lot of heat sometimes for our takes online. If someone doesn't agree with us, they get mad at Sam Wu and Vinnie Parise. Well, this year, you're going to have a chance to not be a complete muffin about it and just be a little keyboard warrior. You're going to be able to come in and bet against us on the app, and it's going to be super exciting. You can either take what we say and use it to make yourself more fruitful, or you could take what we say and go against us and see what happens. We'll see who's willing enough to put their money where their mouth is this season.
Yeah, and also, in full disclosure, you have to be 21 or older to enter this type of thing. Whatever is, your legal jurisdiction, so to speak, state, province, whatever. We don't control that. So, but go to betstamp.app, download the app, and figure it out from there, and just follow the rules. And if you have a gambling addiction and gambling problem, please don't do this. All right. We're supposed to have fun with it. But anyway,
Absolutely.
Predictions, Vinny. What are you predicting?
Really quick. I think we come from the first two states that legalize gambling, New Jersey and Illinois.
No, Delaware did it first.
Did Delaware do it first? Okay, I couldn't remember if Delaware was in.
This is typical New Jersey politics. Spent $54 million to argue this in the Supreme Court. Got it overturned. Politicians, just like the whole cannabis thing, the politicians in New Jersey spend too much time trying to get their hands in every single cookie jar. And then Delaware is like, we just passed it before you did. Thanks, Jersey, for paying the tab. And that's what happened.
Damn. I did not know that. Well, I know Illinois is in the mix for like the top 5 at least then.
Yep.
But the first ever bet in Illinois history was legally was the White Sox to win the division, and then COVID happened and all the bets were nulled. as far as my prediction for this game, I believe I'm going to be honest. You want me to my Illinois South to come over and be honest? This is the cream of the crop for the New York Rangers. Besides Panarin, they're dressing their top lineup. The best player in the Devils lineup might be Mercer. If we're being honest with each other, in my opinion, he's got the highest ceiling of anybody in their lineup. Hala, Tatar, Wood, nice players. Dougie Hamilton is – oh, no, Dougie Hamilton's not playing. I did not say his name, did I? Oh, no, Hamilton is playing. He's the best player in the Devils lineup. Devils got good goaltending. The Rangers are using Shesterkin. It's going to be hard without Jack Hughes and Hischier and Bratt to really make moves. I'm not sure the Devils take this preseason game. It's nothing against the Devils. It's the fact that they have a mix between their B team and the C team going up against the Rangers A team minus Trouba and Panarin. And they're using Fox, who's one of the best defensemen in the league. I mean, yeah, I'd be a little surprised if the Devils were able to take down the Rangers tonight. I'll go Rangers 3-1.
And that's tough to say. But you know what? We didn't sugarcoat it. We didn't lie to you. Because I'd be lying to you if the Devils won 9-0 over the New York Rangers. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. However, this is what I truly believe. It's going to be a 5-4 victory over the New York Rangers. Reason why? The Devils have a lot of good juju going. Shesterkin does not need to pull a muscle, does not need to overextend himself. He has nothing to prove in this game. Those are my reasons. 5-4 victory over the New York Rangers. But that doesn't discount what Vinnie Parise is predicting. He gave an honest answer, and that's all we ask on this fine programming called Game Day Live, a little honesty. We were late today. It was my fault. I got to the studio late. Vinny was on time.
It happens.
I covered up and say I was dehydrated, and I went to the refrigerator and drank water for 10 minutes. That's why we were 10 minutes late.
And then not do the show for 10 days. But
yeah.
We have a sponsor this year. We're running the betting, and I'm not going to lie to the people. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. You think I'm kidding? I'll prove it to you.
Yeah. Starting on October 15th. Or I'm sorry.
Right.
Well, we may have it ready on October 13th against Philadelphia when we're at Chickies and Pete's. But definitely at American Whiskey, 51 Edison Place, across the street from the Prudential Center, next to Championship Plaza. Opening night, you can meet us there. Heck, you could bet stamp us there and show us your bet. Be like, woo, I think Miles Wood's going to score a hat trick, and here's my bet. And I'll be like, dude, you're coming on the podcast.
Exactly.
I want to see some crazy bets because those odds are huge, and there's a big payout if you're actually right. So we're gonna have a lot of fun with Bet Stamp, and of course, anybody that joins will definitely look at your winnings and losings. Is it losings? Is that what it's called?
We'll say bad beats and triumphs.
Yeah. Well, Vinny, let's close Game Day Live. We don't want to interfere with Erica, and MSG Sportsnet. Whoops, wrong audio file. Whoops, I was playing Chico.
Not at all. I'm about to get up from this chair and drive over to my parents' house because they have NHL Network and I do not. So I will be making my way over there to watch the game.
Yep, absolutely. All right, I want to thank all those tuning in. We'll be back after the game, Devils After Dark, tomorrow. Game Day Live. Keep it here. Devils play the New York Rangers again at Prudential Center. Thank you. Dropping the podcast in 20 minutes. Till next time, let's go Devils.